Man, shout out to RealToon Television, man. What Sauce say, man? RealToon, there's some money in the room, man. Man, shout out Sauce Walker, man. Shout out to the homie OG Percy, man. Percy, man. We've been following your content for a long time, man. I sit up all night and ride on that OG Percy, old Ferguson story. You know, Ferguson unit stories, man, you know, all the way to them Fort Worth streets, man. Can't nobody tell them stories like Percy, man. Young Hog is really looking forward to working with you too, OG, man. Yeah, you keep up the good work, dog. We tapped in with you, homie. We tapped in.
Hey, RealToon, there's some real money in the room.
But this same producer, man, you know, like I said, I'm not gonna speak names and speak ill, but I'm just speaking facts, you know. And you know, he's had several lawsuits and several complaints publicly, all over the news, everything, you know, for these exact same reasons, dog. It was
so y'all purchased the beats, and you get to releasing them, and there's still a conflict even though you purchased the beats between you and the label?
Because those same beats had already been spoken for by the label.
So the label purchased the beats as well?
Hey, RealToon, there's some real money in the room.
All right, man. So today on RealToonTV, we have, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, man. For the people
D
who
Jones,
may not
man. D Jones, man. Instagram at D Street Monster, D Jones, man. You know what I mean? I manage J-Dawg. You know what I mean? Everybody pretty much know me from the promoting scene. I done promoted all over Texas, really a lot of spots in the U.S., man. But that's mainly my background from the promoting scene, man. I've been in the entertainment industry for a while now, dog. So I'm pretty seasoned, dog.
For sure. So you manage J-Dawg?
Yes, sir.
The Young Hog? The
Young Hog. Let's make that right. J-Dawg, the Young Hog.
Out of Garden City?
Yes, sir.
Acres Home 44?
That's it.
Okay, let's start there. Can we start there?
Let's start there.
Okay, so how long have you been managing J-Dawg?
I've been managing J-Dawg since August of last year, 2023. So
okay.
man, we only about, 9-10 months in.
Okay, so you just started managing J-Dawg?
Just started managing J-Dawg.
Okay. How did you start managing J-Dawg?
Me and the Hog, we go way, we go back. We go back, man. Keep in mind, I was a promoter first. So I've been dealing with all of these artists for a long time, you know.
When you say all of the artists, name some of the artists that you dealt with.
Anybody that you can name from the Houston scene, just about. A few from the Dallas scene, from J-Dawg, Lil Kiki. Now, Big Hawk, that was my mentor in the game. R.I.P. to H.A.W.K., man. That was my mentor in the game. Beat King, just about every artist. If they came through Houston and they made some noise, D Jones definitely brought them to some club in Texas,
Right. So, just because, I'm familiar with J-Dawg through his music.
Certainly.
You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to him for the last 15 years, maybe you could say. About right. Maybe less, 14, 13, so on and so forth, you know what I'm saying?
Certainly.
Since Behind Tint Volume 1.
Certainly.
And J-Dawg seems like the type to not trust many people. You know what I mean? So how were you able to make that connection and build that bond with him?
Trust is a big word, and I'm definitely not here to speak for him, but trust is real broad. You know what I mean? Man, we all street niggas, man. When you come from the streets, trust is real hard to gain. Trust is real hard to gain, man, when you come from the streets, man. PTSD in the streets is a real thing, dog. You know what I mean? So right. You definitely got to watch who you get close to. You know what I mean? Because everybody's not going to always have your best interest. So that's just kind of from my perspective, speaking from my perspective, coming from the streets as well. You know what I mean? So right. When you see me, you normally going to see me solo, or if I'm doing business, is who I'm doing business with. You know what I mean? Right. I fuck with everybody. You know what I mean? Nothing against anybody, at all. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm just a busy guy, and I like to keep everything small because my business mind always working. You know what I mean? So for the most part, man, I keep it simple. You know what I mean? And just not have a lot of people around. You know.
Right. Well, I want to congratulate you on the new relationship. I think you got one of the hottest artists in the city of Houston.
The hottest.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely a legend for sure. I don't think anybody would dispute that. I'd say me personally, top 3 alive in Texas right now.
Texas Tupac.
Yeah.
That's what they call her.
All time.
I want to straighten something out right there where you said that at. We got a call from Sway, you know, Sway in the morning.
Right.
And man, he was excited. He was like, man, I got to have Texas Tupac on my show. So that's why I put the Tupac reference in. Everybody know how J-Dawg feel about Tupac, so I had to throw that reference in there, man. But you know, for Sway to say it, you know what I mean? It was something big just to hear. You know? So yeah, Texas Tupac, that's J-Dawg the Young Hog.
I wanted to congratulate you on the release of Exclusively On RealToon. I saw Trade the Truth's new platform, the Press Play freestyles.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the snippet and then I seen the video. Same old hog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then I saw the audio that y'all released, man, and you know, it's been a long time coming because we ain't heard from the hog in so long.
Mm-hmm.
What's very ironic is that right after the song was dropped, the audio was dropped, J-Dawg released another project with the song on the project. And then I noticed that the names were different. That you had J-Dawg the Young Hog, and then you had J-Dawg, the original name. You know what I'm saying? And so it just looked weird, you know what I'm saying, from the outside looking in. And I'm wondering, like, first off, why did y'all release a full project right after releasing the single, like the day after?
Okay. First, I want to start here. Let's start here. Let's start here. Keep in mind, when I just told you a while ago, I've just started managing J-Dawg in August of 2023. So a lot of things that J-Dawg had prior is none of my business. You know, I knew when J-Dawg called me and asked me to be his manager, you know, it was gonna be a tough task. Easy to manage because he's so wanted. You know, the streets are starving for J-Dawg. So, you know, as far as getting his motion back, that wasn't gonna be no problem. He really never lost his motion, but everybody want to hear the music. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. Everybody want to hear from the Young Hog. You know what I mean? So, first off, when I started managing J-Dawg, my goal was just to get him back active. So we went to a few platforms, did a few interviews, you know, just to show everybody that J-Dawg is still in the mix, back active, and music is still in his heart, and this is what he want to do, you know. So from there, you know what I mean, I put together a tour, the Hog Tour. We did 27 cities in 5 months. You know what I mean? Shout out to my homeboy Michael Watts, man. He came on the tour with us and DJ'd for J-Dawg, man. It was an epic tour, man. I mean, everywhere we went, it was packed out, and I seen right there, the streets are starving for J-Dawg. He never lost no motion. Every club jam-packed. They singing this man's shit word for word. And like I said, me being a promoter, I promoted every artist that you can almost imagine in Texas. And you know, I've obviously seen everybody's shows, you know, but man, I've never seen nothing like this where the fans recite everything word for word. Keep in mind, some of these are children. Well, I say children, but they 21, 22, 23, so they was 5, 6, 7 years old, you know what I'm saying? When J-Dawg released this music, they in that motherfucker singing it word for word, word for word, word for word. I'm like, damn, which I already knew, you know, but just to see it was an amazing thing. You know what I mean? You know, to get to your question on how Exclusively and Pac was released along with the album. You know what I mean? It's kind of touchy to touch on, but you know, his prior situation, you know, with his label, you know, we were, you know, coercing back and forth to put together you know, Dawg project, and it was Life of a Young Hog, you know, Volume 3, you know, which was, you know, everybody been waiting for 12 years now, you know what I mean? So man, shout out to the label, man, for getting that album out, man, because it set the streets on fire. Everybody been starving for Dawg. I'm glad to feed the fans, man. That's first and foremost, you know. Well, our situation came in with that was a lot of those songs that Dawg already had on that project that was meant for that project before me was done by a certain producer. You know, I'm not gonna really get on names. He know who he is. You know, he owned a lot of those tracks that's on that. You know, Celia and Pop being one of them. Well, we.
What do you mean he owned them? He
He
owned
made
them
the
as
tracks.
the producer?
Yeah, he made the
He
tracks.
owned the beat, or he owned like the whole song?
No, he owned the beats.
Okay.
He owned. You cannot own an artist's voice. Nobody. The only person that can own an artist's voice is the artist. Okay. You know, and that's Larry Wayne Jones Jr. You know, right. Nobody can own someone's voice or their lyrics.
Right.
You know the producer. I sat down, talked with him to see what it's gonna take for us to get this music out. You know what I mean? I didn't know a lot about Dawg's previous situation. Like I said, not my business. Anything before me, I try to stay away from. I'm not knowing that this music was already a part of something previously in the making. You know, so we made a purchase on a lot of those tracks. You know what I mean? Because it's time to feed the streets. You know, that's the thing. You know, I got him hot, did everything.
What do you mean when you say made a purchase on those tracks?
We bought them. We bought the tracks.
You bought them back from
No,
the
they
producer?
were supposedly never purchased. You know what I mean? These beats
But the beats weren't purchased from the producer who made the beats?
No, the producer that made the beats, these beats are still on the market.
Oh, so they were like YouTube beats?
No, he made these beats.
Okay, he made the beats.
Yeah,
right.
he made these beats.
Okay.
Yeah, he made these beats, you know,
And they were never purchased by Dawg or by the previous label?
well, and that's another thing that I'm really not gonna touch on simply because I don't know, you know, I don't know, you
Right.
know, one person say one thing, another say another. So again, it's not my business to speak on. All I can speak on is my situation and what I had going on in this particular business transaction.
Right. Who was Dawg's previous label? Was it the Boss Hog Outlaws, Swisher House situation?
Yeah,
or was there-
yeah, Boss Hog Outlaws was his previous label. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Under some thug. And I ask, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be facetious. You know, I'm from Richmond, Texas. I'm not from Houston, so we know based off the music, Boss Hog Outlaws. You know what I'm saying? Ride on Foes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Ride
that
on
was his
Foes
label.
remix.
You know what I mean?
You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
know.
All on me. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
like I
don't know
said,
the
like I say.
associates. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
I'm hearing the,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
I mean,
knowing.
hey, keep in mind, I'm just like you from a certain extent. You know, I'm a fan first.
Right.
I'm a fan first of all the Boss Hog Outlaws and Dawg. I'm a fan first. You know what I mean? And you know, managing was never something that was part of my pedigree or my resume. I just knew my way around the industry and knew the business well enough. You know, and what I didn't know, you know, I'm smart enough to sit and patient enough to figure it out.
Right.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So, you know, when I came in, all I did was try to come in and help what I can help. And you don't worry about what you can't control. You worry about what you can control. And I can't control what went on before me.
Right.
You know, it's just that simple. You know what I mean? I don't, you know, I sleep well at night, man. You know what I mean? To the point to where, like I say, I don't worry or stress over things that I can't control. I only move forward.
Right.
And that's all I can do. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, so, you know, in my process of moving forward, I'm trying to feed the streets. You know, they need Dawg, they need music, they need music, they need music. That's the elephant in the room. We need some new J-Dawg music. And at the end of the day, you know, we got to satisfy the consumers. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's part of my job is to satisfy the consumers. You know what I mean? So we went on to, purchase, you know, a lot of those tracks. You know what I mean?
A lot of the beats.
Yeah, a lot of those beats. Yeah,
Right.
you know, the beats. And it became, you know, a dispute, you know, which I had no...
Y'all go ahead and send the email in. Send the email.
Which I had no knowledge of, you know, on the, the ownership of what, you know what I mean? And that's what I tried to stay away from. So, you know, me and the label, you know, we had different conversations. We had great conversations. These were always good conversations, you know. And like I said, it was agreed that we was gonna try to put a joint project out, you know. Well, it got squirrely when I figured out a lot of that stuff had already been spoken for. Purchase or not, that's not my business. I don't know, you know, but it was spoken for, you know. So, you know, that's just kind of where we
What do you mean when you say spoken for?
you know, well, the label owned the rights as well, you know, well, they felt like they owned the rights as well, you know, and it possibly could be so, you know what I mean? Like I said.
So the label owned the rights, and basically there are other people with the songs as features that feel like they...
No. Well, that's another story with the feature thing. You know what I mean? That's a whole other story, you know. What I'm basically trying to tell you is, it's just like Celie and Pac. A lot of those tracks that J-Dawg had already rapped on had already been handed to his label, you know, without my knowledge at all. You know, I just know that this certain producer has some J-Dawg music and we want to feed the streets. You know what I mean? So that's, you know, that was what, you know, our intention was to feed the street. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I'm blind to a lot of this information. I can just go by what I'm told.
So you're kind of getting involved in the situation and trying to make it a real situation.
Yeah.
But the situation is messy.
I mean, you know, that's, you know, to me, I only know how to do things one way, bro. And that's the right way. I don't go around nobody. I don't step on no toes. I don't do none of that, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? All I know how to do is handle business the proper way. You know what I mean? You know, and the only way you can handle business the proper way is if you have knowledge of it, right? You know what I mean? So I was just handling business from what I have knowledge of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's where we ended up in a situation to where I didn't have knowledge of certain things that belong, you know, elsewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it just became, you know, kind of a back and forth thing or whatever, you know. But a lot of that stuff, like I said, was purchased. So, you know, we felt we was the rightful owner, you know. So we started to, you know, put some of the music out. You know, then it became a conflict. You know what I mean? Every time we were going to promote something, it became a conflict. You know what I mean?
How did it become a conflict?
Well, like I said, you know, people.
Like, what do you mean when
previously.
you say conflict? Like, it became a conflict?
Well, it became a conflict. You know, if you guys, okay, that's just like saying, if you own something or you feel like you own it, whatever the case is, and you got somebody over here trying to use what you feel, that's not gonna go over well. That ain't gonna go over well. You know what I mean? And understandably so, you know, because I speak from a business perspective and a realistic perspective. You know what I mean? And with that being said, I'm not gonna step on toes of nobody else to, to move forward or whatever need to be done. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, I just know how to handle business the right way and accordingly.
So when you came in the picture and you felt like, oh, well, shit, we should have the rights to this, that, and the third.
Because we purchased it.
Because y'all,
we purchased it.
I didn't know you purchased it. That changed the situation.
That's what I told you.
That
Because
changed the
it was
complete
purchased.
situation.
It was purchased.
So y'all purchased the beats. Mm-hmm. And you get to releasing them. And there's still a conflict, even though you purchased the beats between you and the label?
Because those same beats had already been spoken for by the label.
So the label purchased the beats as well?
Like I said,
that's where you don't know.
That's beyond my knowledge.
That right there is the part.
That's beyond my knowledge.
The business between the label and the producer is where you don't know.
Yes. You know, that's like I said, that's beyond my knowledge. All I can go by is what I'm told.
So
and
why
to
would the
move forward.
producer
You know, I
sell
would-
you
exactly
the beats if they've already sold them to the label?
True. Have you ever heard the saying being put in a trick bag?
Because I know with beats,
You
you
know.
can lease them, you can license them, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to sell them completely. So
Okay.
it could be a situation where they license them to you, license them to the label. Could be a situation where they're selling the ownership of them. You know what I mean?
Like I said, it's called being put in a trick bag to a certain extent. You know what I mean? But this same producer, man, you know, like I said, I'm not gonna speak names and speak ill, but I'm just speaking facts. You know, and you know, he's had several lawsuits and several complaints publicly, all over the news, everything. You know, for these exact same reasons, dog. You know what I mean? So, you know, at the end of the day, that's a whole other situation that's really not even, you know, too much for the public, because at the end of the day, there's only one way to handle this, and it's being handled. You know what I mean?
Is
So,
there any recourse for that? Because if you spent money, you should be able to at least get your money back.
That's,
You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's
You see where I'm coming from?
That's a court situation, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, that's a court situation. You know, so that's just kind of where that's at. You know what I mean? And this has nothing to do with the label.
That's so sad
You
to
know
me,
what I mean?
man.
This is you know me in the producer situation. This ain't got nothing to do with the label. You know what I mean? Because you know, I felt like by right, you know, and them releasing the project, man, I'm so glad they released the project. Motherfucker jamming for one. You know, the wave is real high for the Dawg right now. You know what I mean? And like I said, you can't worry about something that's beyond your control. You know what I mean? If they feel like that's something that belongs to them, bro, you know, they done the right thing. You know what I mean? I don't, you know, I don't blame them for that. You know what I mean?
How does J-Dawg feel about that?
Can't speak for J-Dawg. You know, can't speak for J-Dawg. You know, we'll get him in there soon to, you know, speak his piece. But you know, he not real big on speaking these situations publicly. You know what I mean? Right. And it's really not a situation that you really go back and forth publicly with. You know what I mean? You know, that's why I say, you know what I mean, I'm neutral in the whole situation. You know, yes, I represent J-Dawg, you know what I mean? You know, that's my artist, you know, and I stand behind him and his decisions, whatever he decides to do, 100%. You know, I stand behind him 100%, you know. Well, right is right and wrong is wrong. We got to find out what the right's at, find out what the wrong's at, and all this shit, you know what I mean? That's just kind of where it's at, you know, but it's nothing personal with anybody, dog, you know what I mean? Because at the end...
Oh, question. Have y'all been able to, like now that, because I'm starting to see the commonalities, have y'all been able to come to the table to, I guess, address some of the issues between you, the label, and the producer?
I mean, that situation got so ugly simply because, see, this I stand on this kind of shit, right, Tom? Right. This is the kind of shit I stand on. Like I told you, right is right and wrong is wrong. And once I already see you on some bullshit, I have nothing else to talk about. You already have been put on the spot for taking our money, and then now what really can you say back? There's nothing much that can be said when it's, you know, the whole situation is exposed for the most part. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, all you really can do, man, is, you know, is handle it the way you're gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? And man, that's pretty much just the bottom line on that. I don't really care to speak too much more on it, because what's, like I said, you can't change what's in the past. I control what I can control. I don't worry about the past, you know what I mean? But I stand on business to the point to where I don't do people wrong, and I feel like if you do me wrong, it's fuck you. I ain't got nothing against you. I ain't gonna press no lines. But at the end of the day, bro, life too short to be going back and forth with another grown individual, man. You know what I mean? When we both know in our hearts what's really going on. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of why.
Now that you are managing Dawg and you're in control of the business moving forward, what are your plans for the Hawk?
Like you said a mouthful when you said moving forward. You know what I mean? Just moving forward, man. Like everything that went on before me, I try not to want no part of it. You know what I mean? I don't want no part of what went on before me, because I can't control that, and I don't know the ins and outs of it. So while basically it's like sticking your nose in other people's business for the most part, you know what I mean? And I understand, you know, that's kind of my duty, but all I can do is go by what I'm told and move forward from there. You know what I mean?
I be knowing that I know that in some circumstances and situations, like artists, old labels, like more tapes and, you know what I'm saying, a certain amount of records before they are officially released. Is it a situation where now like everything is kind of a clean slate and y'all can move forward and do what y'all do and they just release whatever they got left?
Like I said, you know, I've never had a chance to look over Dawg's previous contract, you know. That's something that an attorney will have to, you know, figure out, you know what I mean, to properly diagnose it. You know, that's beyond my pay grade, you know what I mean? All I can do is take the proper steps and, you know, try to help him, you know, move his career forward, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like I said, when I came in, bro, it was me just trying to pretty much get him back on feet, you know. I got a saying that I kind of live by, you know, in business is, you know, you're not really a real boss till you build one, you know, and I, you know, kind of, you know, I've always been my own boss for the most part. You know, I've ran several businesses, you know what I mean? And I'm just a go-getter in a go-getter mentality, you know, and people around me, I try to put them in that mentality as well. You know what I mean? You know, go out and get stuff, you know, on your own, you know what I mean? If a lot of people just don't have the knowledge to do so, you know what I mean? And the knowledge that I'm privy to, I try to hand over to people around me, you know what I mean? So, you know, my biggest thing was just trying to, like the first thing, you know, I trademarked his name, you know, Dawg, the Young Hog, you know what I mean? Because I'm not sure exactly what's, you know, going on in his previous situation. Like I said, there's nothing that I really want to dig into. And get his own label, which is SDS, you know, Stomp Down Soldiers. Mine is major clientele, you know, as far as my label goes. But Dawg is not signed to me as an artist or none of that. I just manage him. You know, we just have in the future, you know, business dealings, you know, that we'll partner up on. You know what I mean? But you know, he is his own man, his own boss. SDS is his label. You know what I mean? You know, we just trying to move forward. You know what I mean? As we move forward, you know, we'll deal with the red tape that's in front of us as we move forward. You know what I mean? But just try to do everything the right way, man, you know, and hopefully we get some good outcomes, man, you know what I mean? That's just basically where I'm at with it, you know what I mean? Like, man, I'm very non-confrontational for the most part, you know what I mean? Let's, you know, all as men, you know, figure shit out, you know what I mean? And just get to the bottom of it, you know what I mean? Just get to the bottom of it, man, so that's where I'm pretty much at with it, you know.
Right. I did want to ask, man, I watched Meek Mill's career when he first started. And not to take us back, but I did watch Meek Mill's career when he first started, up until he released the Dreams and Nightmares, you know what I mean? But I watched it from Dream Chasers 1, Dream Chasers 2, Dream Chasers 3, like middle of the summer, I'm talking songs like that, like, you know what I mean? And when he got to a certain point, he started rapping different. You know what I'm saying? He started rapping more about the cars, the clothes, the money.
Man,
you know
let me touch on that.
Go ahead.
A lot of artists do that, man. You know what I mean? A lot of artists do that. You know, we become attracted to this man we love so much that speaks to the struggle. A lot of these upcoming artists. You know why? Because a lot of that music was recorded in where they still at, in the struggle. You know? So a lot of these good artists speak their realities, you know? So when your reality is the struggle, you speak the struggle. When your reality is blowing bags in the club, driving Bentleys and jewelry down, you know what I'm saying? Draped down to the floor, you know? You rap that shit, you know what I mean? And shit, J-Dawg is a split image of that, you know what I mean? To where that man literally put his heart on these tracks, dog. Shit, if you hear it, he going through it.
Yeah, and my thing was when I heard Celie and Pop, I've been fighting for a bite to eat since I've been teasing.
Since I've been teasing, man.
It's like, it's the same young hog. It's the same young hog. And my thing is, and we don't gotta go here if you don't want to, but my thing is like, as far as J-Dawg's like financial situation, you know, he's done millions of views on several records. I know for a fact, myself, I jam some J-Dawg on a daily basis. You go to Big Tony's page, he's putting it on his story. So if we, you know what I'm saying, if we're doing, I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of other people who are listening to J-Dawg. Propane has hit millions of views off J-Dawg. I think a lot of us know Propane from J-Dawg. You know what I'm saying? You could say J-Dawg done put people on.
Man, shout out Propane, man.
Salute to Propane.
Salute
Big
Propane,
Pro, man.
man.
I mess with Pro.
That nigga hard.
Like,
been supporting Propane for a long time. I done booked Propane for several shows all over Texas, man. And we got plenty more coming, dog.
Salute Propane. You know, I'm one of them ones, I want to see J-Dawg win, but my thing is like I don't even know how to ask this question properly. I don't know. I guess I get disheartened because it's like you say he don't, you know, appreciate his birthday like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you go to a show anywhere, it's a sellout. You can take them to Richmond right now, tonight.
You see how that phone ringing right now?
Tonight.
You see how that phone ringing?
Tonight.
You see how that phone ringing right now?
Tonight.
They calling for J-Dawg.
You know what I'm
I mean?
saying?
That's trying to book J-Dawg.
And so for him to not see the love or feel the love, you know, I remember when I was doing RealToon and channel blowing up, but the pockets ain't blowing up like the channel blowing up, and it'd be like, man, this, you know what I'm saying? What's the financial situation with J-Dawg?
That's for J-Dawg to speak on, you know. There's certain questions that J-Dawg have to speak on, you know what I mean? You know, just know he good.
Type shit.
Just know he good.
Right.
My nigga good.
Right.
He good. He good. And getting better every day.
Right. What can we do as supporters who, you know, want to see the hog win, want the hog to feel love, want the hog to, you know what I'm saying, know that we out here rocking with them? You
know, J-Dawg the Young Hog is his handle, you know, on everything, you know, on TikTok, you know, on IG, his YouTube channel, you know.
What made y'all change that?
Well, he's not in control of everything else, you know, and that's just something that, like I said, came before me, haven't looked into it, I just came in to move forward.
Right.
You know, just came in to move forward, you know what I mean? So,
and moving forward, we in control.
Yeah, we in control, right. You know, that's all I can do is, you know, just handle what's in front of us and what I can control. What I can't control, I can't control. You know what I mean? I can't play God.
Right.
I can't play God, you know what I mean? But one thing I do work for is J-Dawg, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that he's straight, you know what I mean? In every aspect, you know what I mean? So, not to be speaking on stuff in the past that I can't control, just moving forward, you can't change
Moving
yesterday,
forward.
man. You
Right.
can't change yesterday, you know.
sure.
You know, J-Dawg, the Young Hog.
What'd he
Make
say
sure you go
last?
subscribe to J-Dawg, the Young Hog music on YouTube. Subscribe. You know, Instagram at J-Dawg No Ceilings. That's the right one. There's another one out there, but it's at J-Dawg No Ceilings. You know, make sure y'all go tap in. You know what I mean? Go tap in. On TikTok as well, J-Dawg No Ceilings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what'd he say
No,
last?
J-Dawg, the Young Hog on TikTok, I'm sorry.
What'd he say last year was a hard one, but life goes on.
But life goes on, man. You know what I mean?
Boom. Anything you want to let the fans know that you didn't?
Shit, man, you know, outside of, you know, taking bumps, pains, and bruises that life give everybody, the Hog good, man. He good. You know what I mean? We book crazy, you know what I mean? If y'all looking to book him, obviously I'm the one you contact, you know what I mean?
How can they reach out to you?
At Street Monster _ D Jones. At Street Monster _ D Jones. You know, phone number 979-665-1833. Or y'all can do J-Dawg booking at majorclientele.com. You know, that's how you can, you know, book the Hog. You know what I mean? You know, if the availability there, we gonna be there.
Links will be in the description.
Yes, sir. We gonna be there.
So what else do you have coming up?
You know, like I said, man, my artists I have signed to Major Clientele. The only artist I got is Fully Tune, man. Y'all make sure, whatever y'all do, tap in to Fully Tune. You know, on IG at Fully Tune, you know, TikTok at Fully Tune, YouTube, Fully Tune Music, man. You know what I mean? He hard as a motherfucker, you know what I mean? Make sure you go tap in with Fully Tune. Another artist I'm managing, man, Derek Peoples Jr., man, you know what I mean? You know, we got a lot of talent that came from my area too, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I've always obviously been big in the Houston scenes and in the Houston streets or whatever, but I'm from B County, you know what I mean? Brazoria County, you know what I mean? A lot of talent came from out there that don't really just get spoke on, you know what I mean? Like, that's where Mike Dean came from, you know, super producer Mike Dean, you know, Mexican OT, you know what I mean? South Park Mexican from the water, from Freeport, you know what I mean? So, you know, Clue, Richwood, Lake Jackson, Angleton, man, 979, man. Hog Boomer, man, you know what I mean? Hog Boomer, man, it's a
Bay
lot
City.
of stiff shit that came from that way, man, you know what I mean? And, man, you know, y'all tap in, man, you know. Major Clientele, the label, man. Well, they calling for the Dawg, man. They calling for the Dawg, man.
Yes, sir. Well, salute to you, man. Congratulations on everything. I'm looking forward. You know, I feel like I've been one of the few people who've been trying to put light on that area. I call the whole area 59 South.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even though Bay City is like 36. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, it's all 59.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it's all 59
going towards
South.
Victoria.
I want
know?
to just put it out there. I put out the first 59 South list. Years ago when I started. I didn't start in Houston. I didn't start in Fort Worth. I actually started 59 South, and I could have just been on some Richmond, Texas. You know what I'm saying? But I said, we gonna go Edna. We gonna go El Campo. We gonna go Warren. We gonna go to the Bay. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get every artist that was out there, and since then I ain't really seeing too many people putting on. Shout out to OT. He been putting on.
Yeah,
you know
man,
what I'm saying?
OT
Dirty Bay with the
I've been
WK.
knowing OT since he was
sure.
young.
For
He
sure.
started with this group called the Kick Dough Click. That's what we started with, and they used to come to my house early on and record at my studio. You know, shout out to Big Moan, man, Homer Pimpson. You know what I mean? Them boys used to come, you know, and work with me. I put them on a lot of shows. You know what I mean? Early on, man. So, man, I watched them boys grow up, man. Yeah, straight up. I watched them boys grow up.
For sure, man. Well, salute to you again. You know what I'm saying? We look forward to, you know, everything you got coming in the future.
Yes, sir.
Was there anything else you wanted to share?
Yeah, man. Free Chi, man. Chi. Free the homie Chi, man. You know, he doing a little fed time. Shit, he finna come back hard than a motherfucker, you know. It's a lot of guys out that way, man, that's solid, man. You know what I mean? So y'all keep your eyes open, man. Stay tuned for everything that we got coming up, man. And you know, like I said, as far as, you know, J-Dawg, you know what I mean? We super duper active, you know what I mean? We gonna keep the motion. And, you know, we in full support, you know, of the project, man. You know what I mean? Life of a Young Hog, you know what I mean? Behind Tint Volume 3, you know, we in full support of the project, you know, and we working on new music right now, you know what I mean? We finna hit y'all with a bad motherfucker real soon. Right. We finna hit y'all with a bad motherfucker, you know what I mean? Fully Tuned project finna drop real soon, finna hit y'all with some, you know, with some bangers, banger after banger. J-Dawg and Fully Tuned got a bad motherfucker called For That Money. Man, that motherfucker so hard, it's gonna take over the streets. Y'all be paying attention for that song, For The Money. Fully Tuned featuring J-Dawg, man. Make sure y'all, you know, keep your eyes open for that, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, like I say, we in full support of the project, man. Shout out to everybody that's out there doing it, man. You know, shout out to all the features on the project, man. You know, although, you know, a lot of the music, you know, was older or whatever, man, J-Dawg not gonna disappoint. It's still J-Dawg, you know what I'm saying? People starving for him. So that, man, the album is hard, man. You know what I mean? The album is hard, so it's undeniable. It's J-Dawg, bro. It's the Young Hog, so, you know what to expect. You know what to expect, man, when, you know, when the hog in the building, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And go ahead. Cut that. Yeah, I'm gonna get that. Well, you know what? Then again, don't think what that is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just out of sync, though.